1980, right when I got out of the Navy. And I worked down at the Church of the Messiah in Woods Hole for like 12 and a half, almost 13 years as a caretaker.
Mm-hmm. What's the best thing about living here?
The atmosphere.
Describe it to me.
It's beautiful. You have the ocean, you have the islands, beautiful back roads.
What's the character of the people who live here?
Well, it varies. You have the scientific community here in Woods Hole. You have tourists from all over the world. New York. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm. What are the people who live here like? Like all year round? Like, I mean, I know they're from all over, but
Well, for young people, it's not a great place to live year round, as far as jobs go and stuff like that. For retired people, I think it's great. A lot of bike trails. You have to look for the activities to do. Kayaking, you name it, it's here. You just have to go and do it.
how'd you get into motorcycles?
Since I've been 12 years old, my stepfather bought me a little Honda 50.
Uh-huh.
Used to take it down to Husneck Beach in the fall and ride in the parking lots down there. That's down in Newport area. And ever since then, I've been on two wheels.
What's the furthest you've gone?
Well, I've been cross country 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
I've been out to Sturgis several times. My first trip was in 2000. I went up to St. Albans, Vermont, into Canada, and followed the rail trail system right across to the west coast. That was awesome. Went through Calgary, Banff, Lake Louise, Kamloops, Vancouver, into Seattle. I went to Sturgis the long way that year. I picked up the rally and I waited a couple days after I got there for some of my friends to show up. And I even made the Sturgis newspaper.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of funny, camping out at the Big Dog Campground. Had a little reporter going around,
Nice.
asked me about my travels and stuff, and it was cool. That's exciting. That's where I feel alive, being out on the road.
I heard your motorcycle is kind of quiet.
That one you heard's quiet.
Yeah.
That's because I got popped here a couple summers ago with my loud pipes. And I'm not really obnoxious with my pipes. I was pretty much standing still. And that particular day, it was kind of funny actually. It was at Falmouth Heights. I don't know if you drove down there or not.
Mm-hmm.
They had a setup there. And I happened to be coming in one direction. And they just heard me and they pointed to me and told me to pull over. But not 2 seconds after I did that, about 50 motorcycles came by in a group with a police escort, and they kind of just turned around and looked the other way. I got a warning that day,
Oh, that's good.
so I took off my Vance and Hine long shot pipes. And those pipes that you heard, I can make them loud if I want to. I just have to unscrew the baffles and pull them out. So I use my own discretion. But you need the loud pipes. They save lives, just like they say. I mean,
Really?
when you come up to intersections and stuff, people don't see you, but they hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, I'm not really obnoxious with my pipes. I'm not sitting there revving it up all the time. I just cruise. So that's my quietest bike that you heard.
Yeah.
On my other bike, the Ultra Classic, I have some Samson pipes. They're not bad, but you can hear me coming. Like today, for instance, I'm riding on the side of the road. I take up not as much room as a car, but I'm still driving. I'm
Yeah.
still a vehicle.
Right.
This woman passes me in the same lane just because she had the room and space to. And I pulled up and I looked, and of course, It's another cell phone.
Oh no.
Right, yeah, but usually I pull up and yell at them and stuff, but it's really not worth it. So I cut her some slack today, but you just don't do that with the motorcycle.
It's too dangerous.
What if I moved over an inch or so just because?
Yeah.
She could have took me out.
Yeah. Have you ever had an accident on the cycle?
Yeah, I've been in a few. Mostly hit. Once it was wet out, and this was way back when, early 70s in Brockton. It was wet out. I'm coming up on this intersection. I get the right of way, and this guy's getting ready to make a left-hand turn. So it looked like he was waiting for me. You can't read people's minds. Well, as soon as I got there, he decided to turn, and I caught the back end of his car. Ended up on the sidewalk. I didn't break anything, but I was all cut up and everything. Come to find out, he was an illegal immigrant. All right. No, he wasn't illegal, but he was a foreigner. He just had paperwork and not a license. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
No insurance.
Yeah, I don't know about that, what happened, because I just went to the hospital to get checked out, so I don't know what the cops did or anything. But I was more upset that I ruined my uncle's Honda 175. I said, how am I going to fix it? Well, I was young then, so I was more worried about the bike than myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And one time on my Honda 750 riding through Bridgewater, Mass, I had an oil cooler on my bike. It's like a radiator for the oil to go through and keeps it cool. I didn't know what exactly happened, but I didn't find out until after the fact. But I went down so fast, and what did happen was the line went and the oil hit my back tire, and I was down faster than
Wow.
you can
Did you
shake a
hurt
stick.
yourself?
No, I just slid and I got banged up a little bit. I was kind of looking behind me to make sure there was no cars going to run me over.
Wow.
But yeah, I love riding. That's my medicine.
What's the best ride you've ever taken?
Oh, I can't say one best because
Name one of them.
they all have their unique. My first trip was probably the most exciting because I was on my own. I was by myself. My mother was worried about me going out. I guess people are afraid to go out by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It is dangerous, especially when you're out on the road, because a lot of things can happen to you out there. You have stalkers of all kinds, whether they want to steal your motorcycle, your money, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a chance you take. And so far, I've been fortunate.
Yeah. Nice.
But I really like my motorcycling. And I love all kinds of bikes. I own 3 Harleys, but I love all kinds of motorcycles. Well, it's all good stuff.
Where does the term hog come from?
Oh, that's Harley Owners Group. That's what that means.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's great.
And actually, it's worldwide now.
Yeah.
It's not really. Yeah, it's a Harley Owners Club, they call it. But it's called Harley Owners Group. You sign up every year for it. It's you get to meet a lot of people through it. They get a lot of discounts and stuff. Your local Harley dealership usually sponsors its own chapter. I belong to that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's Harley Owners Group of Pocasset,
Mm-hmm.
Cape Cod Harley Davidson.
Were your parents from Massachusetts too?
Let's see. Yeah, my mom is from Massachusetts. Yeah, they both met here in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so they grew up here?
Yes, my dad is French Canadian.
Oh, so did he have a French accent?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. And my mother was full-blooded Greek. Her last name was Zagoras,
Right.
her maiden name.
But was she born there?
No, she was born here in America.
Okay.
It was my grandparents that came from the old country.
Right.
They had their little mom and pop's bar room and rooming houses in Brockton. And they were really worker bees. They were great. I miss them.
Yeah.
I miss the Sunday dinners. I'm sure a lot of families used to do that.
Yeah.
Not so much today.
No. Yeah. It's technology, isn't it?
I guess so. Technology's good in a way, but I don't think it takes away from a lot of social skills and stuff. I mean, it's not real. It's communicating, but you don't have. It's not personable. It's. I think we'll see effects of that in the future. I'm sure, in a big way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really. It's communicating, but it's not personable. Period.
Yeah.
And it could be anybody on the other end of the technology,
Yeah.
and not who you think you're talking to or whatnot. We're already having issues with that. So.
All right. I'm just. Thank you.